Hey y'all, CB here at MBS Welding. Beautiful day here in the Appalachian Basin today. Good day to get some welding work done. Had a good run this morning, and we're getting on things here at the shop. I want to show you this first thing here real quick. A buddy of mine brought a mower deck over here from a Kubota. There's a crack right here that's forming. There's a crack right here that's already quite a ways into a situation, and this looks kind of weird, like there's been something caked on it, something besides metal. I don't know what the situation is there. We're going to get power brushing on it and we'll find out. On this other one, this is a little more than a crack. Here she done come plumb apart. That ain't supposed to be like that. Here's one of the things about it though. This thing's filthy. And this is something I run into at times, where something like this mower deck, it looks to me like that thing was mowed with all year last year and didn't get cleaned at the end of the year. It's well caked on the inside with grass. I'm not going to bring something like that in my shop and weld on it. If I do, and I've done this before in a hurry, it'll take me longer to clean up my shop, the filth. By the time you take something like that and you put it on a welding table and you go power brushing and grinding on it and flip it over and weld on it and flip it back over and do what you got to do to it, you'll have so much filth in your shop, it'll actually save you time if you clean it outside first, which on a lot of stuff like this, customers could save them. I'm going to charge them for time. I charge by the hour. I charge by the minute. You know, so a customer that could, you know, if you didn't want me to clean something like that up, you didn't want to pay me to clean it, it'd be best that you clean it before you bring it to me, or otherwise you're going to pay me for the time it takes to clean it. And in a case with a mower deck, if it's not cleaned, there's a really good chance that it's broken in places you can't see, because it's common with a mower deck that when you power brush it and get it really clean, you'll find more wrong with it. And now's the time to, if there's something else cracked on it, now's the time to find it. You don't want to take a mower deck and have it in a welding shop and be welding on it and overlook cracks and leave them. You know, before you even get through this mowing season, you're going to need a welder again. We don't want that. We want to fix it so that they don't need a welder on this mower deck for a while. So that's going to require power washing the thing as the first step, and I'm going to get going on that. Then we'll bring it in, we'll see what we got. If you'd like to buy an NBS Welding t-shirt for $25, send Boss Lady Tina an email request. nbswelding@aol.com. So this pre-power wash image is kind of worth looking at, just to see what, you know, this is what you can expect to see on the bottom one of these decks. And there's going to be issues here that you can't find. It's got to be cleaned up. And this is going to show you here, this bit of footage. Look, you would have never known about any of this other damage had you not cleaned the thing up. You basically got to start out. Power washing to me is the best thing. You might be able to scrape, but you know, the guard section, that I think you would call these diverters, when those diverters break loose like that, you got to fix them. When you got cracks and stuff like this, you've got to fix this. This will get bent in towards the blades and hit the blades, and it'll be a mess. You got to fix this stuff, and you can't fix it if you can't see it. You can't see it if you don't clean it up. Now, this has been worked on before, and this is interesting because somebody shoved bolts in it where metal had worn away, and honestly, that's not a bad idea. When metal's getting worn away like that, really any metal you can shove in there is going to help. And I see here where there might be, this needs looked at, because the very end of that thing, there might have been enough metal worn away to wear that weld off, where that might start coming loose. So I like my MIG 205 Pro, and I've got my 30 thousandths solid wire MIG. I really like welding mower decks with a solid wire MIG. You usually start out jogging the trigger, but you kind of got to build up in the cracked places. You can't, a lot of these cracks, you can't just pull the trigger and weld across there. You got to build it up and work with it a little bit because it's contaminated material. But, and a lot of people don't like welding stuff that's contaminated with solid wire MIG, but these things are thin. So, if you're trying to stick weld or flux core, you're going to burn holes, and burning holes don't get the job done. Generally, if I can jog a trigger and get a pass over this stuff and then power brush it, and then weld over it again, then I get some solid bead like you're seeing here that's going to do the job just fine for something like this. So from the bottom, we get back up here to the top looking at things. This is where it's been welded on before, and you can see there's a lot of lack of fusion. This is what I'm going to see a lot of. We're going to see a lot of on this. It's just poor fusion. A lot of that dribble kind of welding where it's sort of just laying on the surface. And in a lot of cases, you want to grind all that out, but it's not practical. You got to weld over it. And the only problem really with welding over that stuff is you end up with a bigger weld than you needed probably. Because by the time you weld over what was there, you've had to weld bigger than if you would have fixed it right to begin with. But in a lot of cases, and especially I see it on this deck, I notice what we got here. Somebody has done the dribble poor fusion welding, and then it looks like they put some epoxy over top of that, thinking maybe that JB Weld or something like that was going to help. Because this white stuff that you see caked on there like a putty, that's not helping structurally. And here's an occasion where you see I've had to weld a whole lot bigger than than normally you would want to on a repair like this. But there was just so much poorly welded and poorly fused material there that you got to weld over all of it. And that's the situation that we're in. Here's another one where it was more so broke just on the inside and not so much the outside. And another thing about these things where the wheels are, you want to make sure you got some fusion there on the bottom, because that's where the crack's going to start. See how underneath of here there's good fusion. That's where the crack's going to start. So you got to make sure you got that. And then on the rest of it, you sort of got to build it up. And this one here, we're probably not going to have to weld as much because it hasn't been goofed with before and a bunch of crap caked on it. So, we can almost just put it there and weld it up. And like I was saying about grinding a lot of stuff off, there's occasions where you got bad weld on something like this, and if you grind it all off, there's nothing left. There's nowhere to start. So you end up having to weld over it, and that's how you end up with these gargantuan welds like this. But it's the fastest way to fix it. So that's the way I do it. And, on something like this, the extra buildup is not going to hurt anything. So I want to thank you guys for watching. This is a common repair that people got to do and worth taking a look at. So y'all learn how to work with what you got. That way you always have everything you need.